Hey everyone, Nick Fenton, and last night we talked about some bullish cases here in the marketplace. Now we all know the market's ripping higher, and there's all kinds of bullish opportunities out there. But one thing came to my attention when I was scanning charts last night, and this was APOL, Apollo Group. Again, ticker symbol APOL. And amidst the market ripping higher, this one has done just the opposite. It's really ripped lower quite substantially since basically showing some resistance right around this 75 level. It reported earnings, and the bearish report sent the stock gapping substantially lower from the pre-earnings price level of around 72, 75, and ended up closing the day after earnings right at 61.50. So a substantial downside move as a result to bearish earnings. Clearly the street was not happy with their earnings report. But here I wanted to take a quick look at this particular stock. On the 60-day chart, we have this downtrend intact, and right now APOL is pushing up towards this downtrend resistance line. Until APOL breaks this downtrend resistance, I think there's opportunities to short into pops against this downtrend resistance line. Now that said, it could break this line today, it could break it tomorrow, it could break it the next day. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't give yourself opportunities to take advantage of a short opportunity on a pop to the downtrend resistance line until that resistance line does in fact break. So just give yourself a little bit of breathing room with regard to a stop if you place a stop, or set an alert at a mental stop level if you don't like placing actual stops, and reevaluate if the alert goes out, or if the alert sounds, and maybe you'll want to exit and take a loss if you do short into the pop on downtrend resistance. But on the flip side, we could see some continuation to the downside as it pulls back off of downtrend resistance, potentially. But it's definitely worth a look. Go out a little bit further to a 1-year chart, and you can see this almost resembles somewhat of a bear flag. We had the large gap, earnings gap to the downside, followed by a continuation to the downside that very same day. And all this took place on very strong volume, as you would expect on the earnings day, but also some strong volume on the follow-through action to the downside. Now we've seen a little bit of a breather, still kind of trickled to the downside, but not quite as quickly, and that took place on lower volume. We could see another continuation move to the downside here. We already saw a little bit of it yesterday. The day before yesterday, with its low down near 52.50. But basically, this bull flag or bear flag measures all the way down to 42.50. If you just see the flagpole start around 72.50 and the bottom of the flagpole at around 57.50, you subtract that height and you get 42.50. If you go out to a 2-year chart, this is kind of interesting. You can see quite a bit of support right there at that 42.50 level. So I'm not saying that I anticipate APOL to drop all the way to 42.50. I'm simply showing you some interesting technical points here in APOL from a bearish perspective, since we talked about so many bullish stocks yesterday. So keep an eye on this one. Short term, I'm looking to play the pops to that downtrend resistance line like we mentioned here per the 60-day chart. And longer term, if we do see continuation to the downside, I'll be keeping an eye on the potential move to 42.50, where that support resides on the 2-year chart. So take a look at that. Hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section, and I'll be happy to answer. Take care.